Our digipreneur joins us from Thailand on the Zoom line. Happy New Year, Keron Rose. All the best, my friend.
Happy New Year, JW. How has your New Year started off?
Real nice, I mean, yeah, I must say, started off on a good footing. Did the Hyatt New Year's Ball, and this weekend, weekend gone, Suka and Mocha, so we kind of into the carnival mix. What did you do to bring in the New Year in Thailand? What's the tradition out there?
There was a lot of light shows. There was a lot of drone shows. There was a lot of fireworks shows. I kept it simple this year. I really just went up to the condo on the rooftop. Most of the tenants were upstairs on our sky gallery, and we just watched the fireworks happening in the river that's close to us. We have a big river by us.
Yeah.
So there were ships that kind of sailed in the middle and did the fireworks in the middle of the water. So it was pretty good. We had it up close and personal.
Fantastic, man. Great time. Let's get into our discussion this morning, and we're asking ways we can use the digital world to find success in 2025. I'll give you a chance to elaborate, Keron.
Yeah, we're going to see some big changes in 2025, and I need people to be prepared for it because we are going to see a lot of services and solutions that probably weren't possible in 2024 become mainstream this year, right? And one of those services is going to be the use of AI in the workplace. Now, I know we said a couple of months ago that right now AI was not going to replace people, but guess what? Because there's been so much advancement in the past couple of months, and with new tools that have been created, we're going to see a rise of things like AI agents being created to do a lot of different jobs in 2025. And this is good news and bad news. Good news is we have more ways for businesses to become more efficient and be able to scale up and do more output. And then the other good news is that if you are early on this, if this is something that you are trying to figure out, is there something that I can do this year that could really be impactful? You want to start looking at services like creation of AI agents and how this is going to impact, or being able to build it so that it creates that impact in workplace. You want to get ahead of that. But this is one of the big changes that we're going to be seeing this year, the rise of AI agents and people learning to build them.
So we're talking here someone who their role and function is to go into this AI engine and generate content. That's what an AI agent is. You're suggesting here that person is an AI specialist?
This is going beyond content. This is actually now replacing actual tasks. So for example, you now have people who will create an AI agent that, let's just say if somebody contacts the company, all right? The AI agent is programmed with all of the company's information. Think every single document a company has, and they have it programmed into the agent so that the AI agent can now know exactly what the rules, regulations are for things. If somebody contacts the company and says, okay, hey, I need to be able to book a service for this particular thing, or maybe you have to contact somebody and ask for information, we're going to be seeing more AI agents replace things like customer service reps. Sales reps is also going to be big on the list. So there's so many use cases for it that it's going to become a big thing this year, and businesses need to start looking at AI agents, but we also need to have citizens start trying to learn that skill, because this is going to be a major skill that's going to play some big parts in 2025.
Is there some sweet spot we could find? Is there a balance we could strike? Because I'm thinking, if you say sales, yes, okay. I mean, if somebody wants something on the go, because we shop online, you're not interacting with any human being, you see what you like, you click, you go, but there are some people still that want that particular dialogue, they want that explanation, they want to get that, in-depth analysis on said product or service from actual human being. Again, this what you're saying is exciting, but it's a bit scary at the same time, Keron.
It's a good question, right? So what is going to happen is you're going to see less humans in the workplace, right? But they're going to be able to do other things. So now a company, if they needed 6 sales reps, maybe they only need 2. Or if they had a team of 20 customer service agents, maybe they now only need 8, and the rest of them are handled by the AI. So you're still going to have people, but with the rise of the AI agents within the workplace, and again, just when you jump on Google and you see some of the use case scenarios that are coming out in 2025, again, this is more opportunity than it is a loss to me, because now we have another credible industry that people could start learning that skill set. Companies are going to need people to program these things, right? So maybe you're no longer the customer service agent, and maybe you're the person that programs the customer service agent. But that's where this thing is heading. So there's a lot of jobs that are being created simultaneously. But again, the biggest thing that we have to worry about in 2025 for Trinidad and Tobago is getting that digital first mindset, because these are some of the concepts that the rest of the world is jumping on and they're putting into practice. We can get in early because it's early days. We can get in early on this and start to bring that money back into Trinidad, or we can kind of let it slip and even our local businesses start to outsource it to companies outside of Trinidad and Tobago.
From your vantage point, through discussions, through business dealings, and just watching the regional space, because even though I know you're in Thailand, you're definitely on the pulse with what's happening here in Trinidad and by extension, our neighboring countries. Which island in the Caribbean right now, as far as you're concerned, they're leading the way? They're on the pulse. That digital footprint, that understanding of AI, that embracing this new space, it's already integrated in their system. Who's leading the race right now, Keron?
I think Jamaica is probably doing the biggest job, followed closely by Bermuda. Our biggest payment network across the entire Caribbean for e-commerce is First Atlantic Commerce. They're based out, they're built from Bermuda, right? They're based in Bermuda. So Bermuda is on the pulse as well. And Barbados is the next country, I would say in third place, that needs to be taken a look at, because Mia Motley's been pushing a big agenda. And right there with Barbados, I would also say Bahamas. Last year, there was like a 2-month stretch where almost every tech conference with AI, Web3, cryptocurrency, all of these events were happening. The cybersecurity symposium put on by the OES, all of those things were happening in Bahamas. So Bahamas is gunning to be the #1 spot for all innovation because of their proximity to the US as well. But their prime minister is also at every single event, and he's trying to bring as much direct investment into Bahamas and just put it at the forefront of that technological advance.
You know, the reason I ask that, and again, this is a bit off topic per se, but what you're saying is true. Jamaica, Barbados, from the time you touch the airport, you recognize you're interacting with machines. That in itself shows, okay, they're definitely in the right direction. We still have to use paper, Keron.
Yep.
And this is Trinidad and Tobago. We are leaders in the region, but we're not leading in that regard. And I know there is work happening on the back end there. You know, there is now a ministry dedicated to that, and I know they're working hard, but I guess the change that's required right now.
When you see the speed of some of the other islands, to me, it's like, why aren't we operating? Like, I don't mind if we have to play catch up, right? We are a group of small island developing states, right? So we are going to be playing catch up to the rest of the world. I don't mind that. The problem really is when you're looking at the other islands who are slightly bigger and even smaller than you, and you're looking at them and they're moving way past you. Barbados is moving past TNT. Jamaica's a bit bigger. So when you're seeing what's happening in the other islands, again, we're all competitive. We want what's best for Trinidad and Tobago. We want us to see more innovation happening like we are seeing in some of the other islands as well.
You think people in Trinidad and Tobago they're afraid, they question I wouldn't say the legitimacy. I mean, you can't question because the technology is here, but you think ultimately people are afraid, they're a bit nervous to use it. They rather that old school interaction, the paper, face-to-face?
So, two-part answer. One is no, because as soon as you throw a Trini in Barbados, they're scanning the passport. Right? They're not walking up to the person because there's no person to walk up to. They're going to the scanner. So we use it as soon as we leave Trinidad. We just come back to Trinidad and we don't use it. Where I really think the fear is, and this is part of where we have to come over this hurdle collectively if we want to find success in 2025, is we are afraid of being replaced, and we also don't want to upskill. We are not upskilling so that we can stay in demand, because again, this is all a cycle. Jobs were created many years ago, which we have today, that are no longer relevant and are being phased out, but there's so many new jobs that have been created that you should be paying attention to learning so that you can now have a new breath of life in your career. But we retire at 65. In today's age, you might have had 3 careers in that time span. But it's going to require you to consistently keep on learning, upskilling so that you are up to the times. And I think that is the biggest block in Trinidad. We don't want to integrate a lot of these things because that requires us to learn, that requires us to change, and we're not doing it. But guess what? The other islands are, and they are going to be so far ahead of us if we continue at our pace.
Keron Rose, I want to thank you as always. Great discussion, just pushing the envelope, keeping us up to speed with international trends, and again, guiding us as to useful ways to find success in 2025 within the digital world and space. Keron, you keep it safe out there, bro, and Godspeed. We will talk again next week, Tuesday.
Have a good one. Take care.
That's right. Take care. Keron Rose out there in Thailand. Digital nomad. Yeah, working and living off of the laptop right there. Doing the same work he would have done here, but in a different location, through the internet and through the technology. Truly, truly amazing times we find ourselves in. Let's get ready for Dr. LeBlanc. First time I'm going to see Dr. LeBlanc for the year. We always look forward to her presence, and she's going to be up next for our conversation on cancer. Dr. LeBlanc, she joins me next.